Welcome back to CBS This Morning, Saturday. The 2020 census is set to end in just 11 days. With the count already affected by the pandemic, the deadline was moved up by the Trump administration, a controversial decision that is now being challenged. But for now, officials in Montana, the Big Sky state, are trying to get it done with a big reward on their minds. Major Garrett reports.
Big Sky, it's the state's name and a way of living. To be in Montana is to behold sweeping vistas and seemingly endless horizons. But there are practical angles too, like power in Washington. Montana has one member of Congress for its 147,000 square miles. Montana believes it has enough population for a second House seat, something it hasn't had since 1993. But first, it has to prove it through a successful census of its roughly 1 million or so population.
Library open Monday through Friday from 8.
So on radio,
do your civic duty and be counted.
At libraries and on bulletin boards, the message is as constant as the prairie wind. Be counted. That is more challenging than it sounds. Take simple delivery by mail of a census form.
Oftentimes, they don't have traditional mailing addresses. And as a result, they have not received the notifications from the census. And so we have about a quarter of the state that has been, not getting the information.
Mike Cooney, Montana's lieutenant governor, said after Labor Day, Montana's census response rate is 59%.
Montana gets about $2 billion a year from the federal government based on the census. When we do not count a Montanan who should be counted, that equals about $20,000 over the 10-year period of the census. Things were moving along pretty well. Then COVID hit. All of the events that the state was planning to promote the census had to be canceled.
Most of Montana, as you might well imagine, is rural. Many residents receive their mail at a post office box. The Census Bureau only sends forms to addresses. If the letter carrier does not match every post office box to the corresponding address, census forms go undelivered. Amid the pandemic, millions of Americans have filled out the census online, taking pressure off the Postal Service. Montana has a problem with that too. Only 59% has broadband internet.
When you have a system for the first time where we're asking people to go on the computer and self-report, and you don't have the ability to do that, then you have to make adjustments very quickly. And that's why we've engaged libraries throughout the state where they do have connectivity.
They're just curious. They're just like little kids.
Yeah. Lynette O'Connor said connectivity proved a bigger challenge than the standard 10 census questions.
Probably longer to get into the internet than to fill it out.
The state has outfitted its 119 libraries with high-speed internet, a real break for 88-year-old Ralph Tenby.
Mainly, I just fill out the census. I don't use the computer all that much, and it's easier to have somebody else help me.
Click the mail. We're going to have to go.
In Fallon County, where census response is 30%, librarian Stacy Moore is a Be Counted volunteer.
Scroll down and go to next.
And she's got her work cut out for her.
Now, if you click up here on this top right there, yep.
Moore was Tenby's census mentor.
This should only have taken us 5 minutes.
For CBS This Morning, Saturday, I'm Major Garrett.